Hi, this is Weekly Reflections, and I'm Nancy Joy, but I'm also using this as a little bit of an instruction video on how to reprogram the negative, let's call them shadow patterns that you keep repeating just because you don't know how to successfully reprogram them and shift them. So I've been working with a lot of people in my free mini sessions, and this almost always comes up. And I've been asked several times if I have it on video. So this is partly an instructional video. But I wanted to start out by saying that to make it consciously through 2015 with excitement and grace through all the chaos we've been discussing about, you're really going to have to know how to use all your feelings and emotions constructively. Otherwise, you will use them as you are used to using them, and you will keep creating destructive patterns and also ones that sabotage you from the things you really want, whether it's abundance, relationship, health. So we want to really take a look at this because it's important. And I found this pretty simple. It was given to me by a download through the emotional field of humanity that I work with named Ezekiel. And I want to quote here a little bit from one of the earliest channelings of Ezekiel I did when I first learned I was working with the emotional field. And that was in 1997, so quite a lot of years ago. I will put a link to that on this YouTube. Additionally, it's on my website under an article called Nothing More Than Feelings, if you want to go read the whole channeling right there. But it didn't include the instructions, but I did want to quote a little bit from Ezekiel so you could really understand what's going on here. Because to learn to use your feelings and emotions constructively is going to make your life very, very much easier. So when you have an emotional field activated, cleared, and balanced, you can use it consciously and nothing can pull the wool over your eyes. Your feelings, your emotions, and in that channeling it gets into the difference. What are feelings, what are emotions, and all of that. We're not going to go into that here, but you're going to, nothing will pull the wool over your eyes because you'll know how to use those divinely given indicators, your feelings, your emotions, to get in touch with your truth, with your soul imprint, with what is really real in this world that can be one of illusion and duality. So it is an important skill to understand the value of all your feelings, and they all have tremendous value that can be used either positively or negatively. It's a choice. I would suggest it's free right now on Kindle, my book, The Wounded Heart, because it goes into all of them: anger, grief, guilt, joy, all of the feelings, and how to use them constructively in your life. Okay, that's one part. The second part is, in order to do that, you have to reprogram the negative mind patterns. You know how it works. Like you drive to work every day, same road or school or wherever. And many days you get to work and you don't even remember driving there. You arrived. Well, that's the way your emotions are working, those energetic feelings that ignite your DNA, and they're used to going to the same place they always go. They light that up, and you automatically repeat the pattern. So you have to get your mind and emotions to work together. So if any of you saw the movie What the Bleep is Going On Here with Marley Matron, it would be an excellent movie to watch because it really explains this scientifically, how it works. But for our purposes now, I'm just quickly going to say, first, you have a thought. That thought creates a feeling. That feeling is an energy, and it has a certain quality to it. It triggers your hypothalamus, which is in the center of your brain, and that is where your neuropeptides, which they call the emotional chemicals, are. And so it will charge those neuropeptides with the emotion of that thought. Okay, clear so far? And then those little neuropeptides go all through your entire bloodstream, attaching to every cell in your body and going into your DNA, where they will attach where they're used to going. That tells your mind, sends the signal to your mind to repeat a pattern. Let's just take something simple. There's somebody you're not wanting to talk to. You're having difficulty, a good friend. And every time you think about it, there's things you want to say to her, there's anger in you, you want her to understand that she doesn't get it. Whatever all that's about, it triggers a very negative emotion. So let's say the phone rings and you see on the caller ID it's this friend. And you have the thought, ugh, I don't want to talk to her. And right away, your emotions take that feeling of ickiness and uncomfortableness about this person, light up your neuropeptides with it. It goes all the way through your bloodstream, goes into your DNA where it's used to going. Okay, I'll ignore it. Bad pattern, right? You haven't accomplished anything. So here's what you got to start to do. The minute you have a thought and an uncomfortable feeling, right when you first have that uncomfortable feeling, is the time to use both your brain and your emotions to reprogram it. The brain, in a way, here's how I do it. I activate the palm chakras, and then I cross them over my heart when I have that kind of a feeling. And I take a deep breath just to feel calmer and better. And then I reprogram the thought to say, in this case, oh, it's Mary. This is really an opportunity for me to clear this up. My life is going to go much better once I do this, and I'm feeling excited about it. Then those neuropeptides get activated with that excitement for an opportunity to change things that have been going poorly for you, and it goes through your DNA and goes to a new, or shall we say more ancient but more clear place that says it's time to deal with this. So this is a simple little thing that everybody can do, and the more you do it, the less your shadow patterns continue to control you. So for 2015, and it can even be used for very difficult situations, fear of money, that you're running out of money. Well, every time you think that thought and have that fear, everything gets programmed with neuropeptides into your DNA, and yep, that's true, so we'll create more of it. So you really want to take your power back. When you have that fear of running out of money, the minute you have that thought, it brings that ugh feeling, hands over heart, and say, that's ridiculous. This is another opportunity for me to speak up, for me to get in touch with my feelings, for me to be a God creator. Abundance is who I am. And just doing that makes you feel better. Well, the more you feel better about it, the less you're going to allow that thought to create an uncomfortable outcome. So I'm going to keep this pretty simple today because I wanted everyone to understand how it works. So take a look at the article. There's a lot of good ways out there. EFT, NET, the Sedona method. I have links to all of them in this article. My book, The Wounded Heart, really work in the beginning of 2015 on consciously changing the way you handle emotions. Emotions are just energy. Negative or positive energy, learn how to use them constructively, right? You know, anger, liken it to a hammer. You can build a house or kill someone with it. It's just a hammer. Anger is just an emotion. It's there to show you what you're feeling. And if you use it constructively to make yourself more clear, more balanced, understand why you're angry, that it's really something inside of you, everything is going to go better for you from then on. So as much as you can, wake up and start to reprogram those thoughts. If something's not going right, it's because you're having a thought and an emotion that you're using destructively to judge somebody, to avoid somebody, to hurt somebody, to go into denial, any one of those things. It's really a choice. So I'm hoping you catch the magic this week. And don't forget, Egypt in March, Sedona in April, beginning of May, and the Alaskan cruise. It's going to be so much fun. So I hope some of you will join. If you need a free mini session to get started on all this, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Have a great week and take care of who you are. Bye.